Hi guys, it's me, Moon Mama. I'm able to flip my camera around now, so I'm excited about that. I downloaded a app to do that. I hope everybody has hope. That's the first thing I want to say. I hope you're doing well, and I need you to have some hope, because without that, it's pretty bleak. It's pretty depressing. It's not where we want to be. It's not. We don't want to be hopeless. I just want that right away. If you're watching this video right now, get some hope, because you're gonna need that. You have to have that. No questions about it. I want to talk about a spiritual slump again. I think I should do like part like 6 of these, 10 of these. I don't know, until we get out of our slump and we figure this out. I want to So this video can be for anyone. It doesn't have to be for a certain person or a certain way of thinking or a certain way of doing things. You'll see a little bit what I do. I'm going to flip the camera around and show you a few things. But whatever you do, whatever your spiritual walk or path is, this can apply to pretty much anyone. One of the first things I think about being in a spiritual slump is what our surroundings are, what the contents of our home are, particularly the room in which we would do spiritual things, also the room where we spend a lot of our time. Both of those things. So, the room where you do your spiritual things, what's in it? Okay. How long has it been there? What purpose is it serving? These things, they matter. They literally matter. And I am a bit of a hoarder. I like stuff that is super cute or pretty, and I probably won't want to use it. That's not good. That's a problem. I have literally broken myself out of that habit, and I'm not doing that anymore. And it has been so super duper helpful. And I want to liken this again. One of my last videos, I was talking about cooking and this sort of thing. In your practice, if you use herbs or oils or candles, or you write down intentions or requests or positive messages, you do all these things, right? Those are like ingredients to your spiritual walk, to the things that you do, the magic you do. And as cooks, most probably anyone watching this cooks, we have our ingredients for our recipes, right? And we shop for ingredients for what we're making weekly, every other week, whenever we do it. And we keep them fresh because we're using them a lot. Now, I'm not saying that we need to purchase things for our spiritual path weekly or every other week. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you're not an active cook or chef if everything in your pantry, in your cupboard, is about a year old. You probably aren't going in that cupboard. You probably aren't taking those things and making anything with them any longer. So if you look at it like that, you can clearly see the stuff that you've gathered. And this is kind of ironic coming from me because, and I have tie-dye ink. I mean, I had cheap gloves, got holes in them. Coming from me because I literally had an online metaphysical shop and sold thousands of items to thousands of people. So now I am here saying, hey, what are we going to do now with all this stuff, right? So I think it's super, super important to start going through your things and reducing the amount, number one, and organizing, number two. I had 139 different herbs, all in containers, some big containers, some little, very overwhelming, very stressful to find what I was looking for. It's just, for a long time, I knew I needed to do something different with it, but I had spent a lot of money on those herbs, and it was really difficult to change it. And every time I'd come into this room where I'm sitting here now, I would feel that I needed to fix that. And I had this beautiful cabinet, amazing cabinet I found on Craigslist. I will show you actually. And all the herbs, all the jars. I had it written on paper, how to find everything. And then next thing you know, my vision, after my breakdown, my vision got all wonkiness, and I can't see in this cabinet anymore unless I get my head stuck in the cabinet. My glasses, it's too far away outside of the cabinet. My 3 feet glasses, I would have to put these on every time. It was just blah, blah, blah mess, not working, but it's beautiful. I struggled at this point so many times when I would come in here to try to get back into my craft and my practice. I would get stuck on that cabinet. So I knew. So my point here, what is my point here? You probably have something like that's popping up, and I have so many things like this in your head that are not working for you at the time, okay? So one idea is, if you're not going to get rid of it, put the stuff, not herbs though, because those aren't going to be good to get back out again, in a tub and put it somewhere. Declutter, get rid of this stuff, because it like ties you, it holds you, it binds you to feeling guilty because you're not using it, feeling stressed. It's like a ball and chain. And I also had the same thing with my crystals. Oh my goodness, I had so many crystals. Some of you had seen it. It was those things that you have at a hardware store. They're round, they're big, and they're tall, and it spins, completely full of crystals, thousands and thousands of crystals, mainly that I had tumbled, of every sort, all organized, beautiful. But every time I came in here, I would feel stress. Like, what am I doing with these crystals? I don't have this business anymore. It's making me so I don't love my other crystals. I have this one right now, and this one, this smoky quartz, and this calcite. Just forgot the name. I haven't worked with it for so long. I can't remember what it was called. Optical calcite. So amazing. I had to look up what it was because I hadn't touched it in so long, right? So the crystals are in coffee cans, plastic coffee cans, and I'm going to make a crystal garden outside when it's spring and work with them that way in nature. And I felt so relieved. My husband was like, "Oh my God, what are you doing with those? You know how much money in crystals there are?" I do know how much money in crystals there are. Yes, I do. But it's not serving me anymore. It's stressing me out. And these were big deals for me to take care of this. Big, big deals. And I'm telling you, when I did, I was able to get this room exactly how I wanted it. And I haven't been comfortable in my witchy room for 2 years about. I'm not kidding you. And so now I have my herbs over here, and I've switched so much around. And one more example of this, I have this beautiful bag. I'm going to show you it. Let me grab it quick. That I have always, now I do oracle. I'm an oracle person. I do the decks that way. I can do readings without a deck. I have decks I have made, etc., etc. when I do my readings. Don't do them anymore. Maybe I will someday. Anyhow, I had this bag, which I love. Always wanted to learn tarot outside of using the book, like know all, is it 72, 74, 76 cards, however, and just never could stick with it, never could memorize them. I think, oh my gosh, this has been like 10 years I've been trying to really nail this, okay? Put all the stuff in here, bought all the books, bought different decks, been dragging this around, sat in my living room next to the chair because I'm going to do this. Did it a few times, had the journal, made myself do it. It's not for me. It is not for me. Not right now. These two beautiful crystals were in that bag, though, that are definitely for me. That is not my method of divination. That doesn't click with me at all. And maybe it will someday. So I have it all on a shelf over here in case it clicks with me. But I just freed myself from that. And it felt so good and so much when I did these things downloaded with me spiritually, intuitively, things I've been had questioned about people, everything. It just kind of my eyes, I feel like my third eye really opened up at this point. And so I feel like these ties, like picture us our third eye just kind of like wrapping it up and tying it shut because we're not allowing our intuition, our collective memory, like our soul lead. We're leading with these grand ideas, and we have to free ourselves from it. And I think it's so important. Let me backtrack. It's hard because you spent so much money on it, right? But we can't make good decisions if we're not in the right place in our mind, body, heart, soul, right? So if doing these things gets us to the point where we make better decisions, it's well worth it. This crystal's getting so warm and hot. It's so comforting. So get your crystals out, get something out, get something going, okay? Get your candle hoards out. If you have candles, burn the candles, use the candles. Look at your tools that you have and your herbs like you would if you were cooking. You don't hoard them for years. You don't hoard the Parmesan cheese when you made spaghetti. You get it out, you freely use it. You get in the habit of using these things. What if you use all your herbs? Well, maybe you won't have that herb again because you can't afford it. Maybe you'll go outside and you'll gather up some lilacs this spring and you'll dry them and you'll use more things that are available to you that don't cost any money. What if you have to go to the Dollar Tree and make a candle and put your intention in it and put your spell in it and put your lilac flowers on it yourself and make your own lilac oil? And what if you have to do all these things? I'll tell you what, it's going to make you stronger. It's going to make you more powerful. It's going to put more strength into you and your practice and the rituals you're doing and your spiritual life. It's all the things are going to be better in every way. And if you can afford to buy more beautiful candles from people that make them, then do that as well. You can support a small business. Both ways are good. Both ways are good. But I do feel like this is such a big help when you're in a spiritual slump to just really sit down honestly and assess what you have going on. If you have a whole bunch of ruins set, let's say, and I do have one, and I've never connected really, but it doesn't take a lot of space. So I kind of put it in the place where on the shelf, don't think I'm probably going to use that for a while. Maybe I will never use it, but it's small. I'm going to keep that, right? But I freed myself from that as well. And here is what I am using, and make a section or a place or a little altar for what you definitely do want to use. And let me just take the camera and flip it around so we can just talk about, and I'll show you some of the things I did. I hope this works again. So I love you guys, and I really hope that whoever needs to hear this sees this message. So oh, there we go. So I've got kind of a mess going in here with some things, and that's okay. We don't care. I've been working on, this is my desk where I've been working on some paper type things, and we're going to move over here slowly. Here's my washi tape. That's not what I was showing you, but it's on the cycle. So moving over to this box I was making, which is not totally what I was talking about, but here we are. This is for someone special. And I just took paper and covered this whole box, and it's got some magical stuff in it. I'm excited about this box because after I finish my business up, I have not done another box since then. I did lots of mystery boxes and just all sorts of things, all the things, tons of it. Let me move over first to the tarot shelf, which is right here. So we've got all these books, and I put the cards in another place. I put the journals here that, as you can see, this is a great journal too. If you are into tarot reading, do you see this? I even put my name in the book, which I never do because, I might sell it. Well, no, I'm going to actually do this. Got that far, and nope, and nope. So let me go over to this cabinet. Some of you have seen this before. I've had that around for years. I got that back out from behind the cupboard where that was. So this was the amazing, and still is, beautiful cabinet. Let me turn this light on here. And this was just full of all jars of herbs. 126, like I said. And I could not see in it, so I went ahead and moved. I still got a few herbs on top. Moved my chime candles over here. And like I said, I had a business. That's why I have so many. And if anyone was on my group, I'm going to show you these oils I've been using. I used to make oils and sell them, and they were wonderful. And then I didn't. And so I've been using Art of the Root. I really, really do love them. I really do feel like they work. I recommend those. So I moved those there. And for me, when I'm selling hundreds and hundreds of bottles of oil, this is very downscale for me. This is very simplified from what I had, if you saw what I had before. So flip this around to my herbs now. And I highly recommend doing something like this. This really, really was the start of me feeling like I could reclaim this space. I went ahead and bought the same size jar, and I labeled them. So I know what in the heck I would be able to do with all the different herbs, because I didn't have them all memorized at all. And this is one of those little Fimo printers that I use that prints a piece print that label just that big. Amazon, you can find it, or you could handwrite them too. Just handwrite them, no big deal. Doesn't have to be all matching, but as you can see, the point here is I have simplified, I have made it usable, I have made it for what will work for me. Now we're going to move over here to the altar that I have going right now. And I encourage you, if you don't have an altar going, please get one going. It could just be the candle, right? And it could just be a crystal next to the candle. And if you have a deck of oracle cards, maybe you do tarot, whatever, get them out. Or if you do not have them, get some note cards and start writing a few quotes down, or write a few words down. Hope, peace, joy, strength, protection. Put the note cards in a little pile and pick one each day and make that be your intention. Start getting active in what you do. So here, that was the other thing when I was cleaning out my room. I had bottles of water that I was saving, say rainwater. This was a bottle of holy water, storm water. I had everything, and I didn't really know what it was anymore. So I had a big purging, a ritual of sorts, where I just went ahead and dumped it all back into the earth. I had dried a million things. I had feathers. I had so much. And so this is a bottle, the holy water I have here, right? And the idea, I'm going to burn all the candles I have. Where are they? Right here, that I've been saving and saving. I'm getting rid of these. So 2, 4, 6, 7. I've done this 3 days. So this is 10 days. This is water from 2022, my holy water. So I'm burning it on here. This is like a releasing ritual that I'm doing. I've got the third eye candle. I need to light that yet for today. That is touching the bottle. Got the white sage that I grew. So this is a releasing of this is my idea. And this is a knowing with the hand of Fatima and the eye, third eye, and then a selenite block and really a cleansing, releasing ritual going on right there. These, I love these. I have been using these like crazy. These chakra oils by Aromafume. This comes in a set. This one smells so good. I feel like they are powerful, and it has been helping me with my chakras. I recommend those as well. So let me turn this around. Okay. So really going through and getting rid of the things that we're not going to be using. I had giant like smudge bouquets, literally, I would call them, that I had made, so many things. And I put those in the fire. I burnt them. I got rid of old savings of old ritual spells, all of it. I really went through, and it was hard. It was emotional. Some of my intentions for my daughter, notes, like things, you can't save it all. And because I've been through something really traumatic, I wanted to heal myself from that trauma and release. I don't need the written record of it. It's up here, truly. So I really recommend going through your space. And I said the space that you spend the most time in. And obviously you need to go through that as well. Because you can't just hide out in your one space. I'm not saying that. But in order to get back into your rituals, get back into your craft, you've got to go through and make it so it works for you. And I'll be done in a second here, because we change and we evolve because of our life circumstances, right? Don't we? We need to do that. We cannot expect that how we started out in our rooms, in our spaces, our sacred spaces, it's going to be able to remain the same after, years of time, because we are not the same. So I think it's a natural thing we're going to have to and want to do for, the rest of our days. And I think when we start out, also, we feel like we need everything, right? And everything is cool and amazing. You can't possibly use it all at once. And it's good to experiment and try all the different things. Like, when I started, I tried casting the circle with the salt and got really down into all that, right from the get go, basic, because I'm reading books and 6 years ago or whatever. That's not me. That's not what I do. I'm a natural, foresty, nature, thrifty kind of a handmade kind of a person that doesn't really follow a set way like that. So I'm just kind of going back to that. So if you have something like a bunch of stuff that you bought and you experimented with, don't ditch yourself for it. You didn't know, you were trying. In the same way, I bought sushi, like seaweed wrapper things to make sushi stuff, bake sushi, whatever. Yuck. I didn't like it. My family didn't like it. I got rid of it, but it was interesting to try it. And so that's okay. Don't get down on yourself. Try to store it. Okay. You could store it. You could donate it. You could resell it. But you could do something with it, if it's a thing that's like dogging on you because you feel like you're obligated to use it because you have it. Don't do that. Don't be like me, because once I stopped that, we're talking about a lot of stuff here too, because as I said, I had a business. So I had everything known to man that you could have for this sort of thing. But I love you guys so much, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And I hope next week you get a handle on whatever it is that's causing you from not being in your beautiful space and practicing your magic. I really, really send that energy to you right now, that you have the courage to go in there, just be magical and witchy and cleanse it all out, and then get back in there and do something beautiful and fun. Okay, I love you. We'll talk to you later.